Hello, my name is Alex Chan, and I'm the Senior Vice President of E-commerce platform and e-finance and e-payment in dhk.com. Today, I'm glad to have this opportunity to discuss a few issues with internet payment as well as internet finance with every one of you. Well, electronic payment is a subset of the e-commerce transaction that brings in e-payment into the overall picture that facilitates the transactions conducted on the internet that allows consumers to buy goods or to buy services offered on the internet and finish the payment process as well as the clearance process. Well, the internet has become an important intermediary media in the arena of electronic commerce that allows consumers to purchase goods sold on the internet or service offered on the internet. However, the integrity of a payment transaction is extremely important to consumers, especially the security factor of the payment process. Therefore, a safe payment environment, a safe payment transaction processing platform is extremely crucial to average consumers. And also, the efficiency as well as the reliability of a payment platform is also important for the merchants that engage in the internet commerce business scenario. That being said, the entire payment scenario encumbers a couple of important players in this whole scenario. That includes the card schemes, the acquiring banks, the card issuing banks, the merchants themselves, as well as the payments. Along this chain of processing, consumer data are transacted securely over the internet, and also funds of the transaction is also settled to the merchant's account via secured process. So the electronic payment platform provides a total end-to-end secured and guaranteed solution to both the consumers and the merchants. The most important factor to them is the security of the transaction. The information about the consumer needs to be kept totally isolated and secured from any potential threats of the internet, and also protected from any unauthorized access. However, the consumer data is also used in a big data environment to provide credentials for credibility inquiries, and as well as to ensure the certainty of the applications. Well, cross-border trading has a very unique business scenario that encumbers consumers from various countries and as well as vendors from various geographic locations. And across all these different markets and geographic locations, there are different principles, guidelines, as well as financial regulations to govern across the entire transaction cycle. Say, for example, in North America, the transaction rates and the processing rates would be vastly different from those transactions being conducted in the Eurozone. So the similar situation also takes place in Asia-Pacific regions. In order to facilitate a seamless transaction across borders, it is necessary for the payment platform, the payment facilitator, as well as the card schemes to come up with an end-to-end solution that allows the consumers to perform their payment cycles effectively as well as securely, and also to eliminate the possible threat of information lost.
So what are the main players in the e-payment business arena?
你已经问了那个问题了。
Sorry. Can you tell me something about internet financing?
Okay, internet financing is a superset of the e-payment. As a matter of fact, internet financing, we also call it electronic financing, composed of several business scenarios. First of all is the payment and the payment settlement process. And then the next business scenario will include internet lending, or so-called microfinancing. These would provide the lending and credit services to average consumers and small businesses. The third business scenario will include the management of wealth, or the management of internet funds in the internet platform, as well as the so-called data information processing mechanism. And finally, but not last, is the functional aspect of the electronic finance, which will include the mobile payment methods, the electronic wallet processing, as well as the financial tools sales. That will include, say, for example, internet funds sales, insurance product sales, as well as many of other financial derivative products that are developed and sold across the internet.
So why people always think internet financing is disruptive to the traditional banking systems?
Well, it is because the finance industry has been a very classic, well-matured and well-regulated system, especially in China. The entire banking and financial services sector are heavily regulated. However, that leads to the fact that the regulations falls far behind of the latest innovations in the internet and the technology evolution. So what is currently happening in China is that the financial innovation similar to what took place in the United States in the 1980s is also taking place. That is found upon the foundations of the internet technology as well as data processing technology that will allow the customers and the average consumers to have easy access to the near de facto market rates, also have access to financial products that bears a much higher entry barrier before.
So what are the core value proposition internet finance for average consumers?
Well, average consumers now are entitled to a higher rate of return on internet finance products. They also enjoy the flexibility of good liquidity. And in addition, the lowered entry barrier that would allow the massive quantity of small business and also small volume wealth owners to participate in the internet investment scenario.
So how internet finance help small business compete in the global economy?
For small business, it is extremely important for them to increase the capital efficiency as well as gain access to operation funds to expedite the expansion of their business. Traditionally, the entry barrier to the indirect funding or indirect finance in the financial sector has always to go through commercial banks or retail banks. And also, it is extremely hard for small business to gain access to direct financing in the business sector. However, internet finance or the so-called technological innovation in the finance sector paved the roads for small business and individual consumers to gain access to microloans, to internet lendings or internet credits. That will allows them to do a couple of things. One is to finance on the micro capital level, also performs supply chain financing, also low cost of entering into the capital investment market, such as money market funds, as well as many of the innovative internet financial tools. This would even out the competition ground that used to be uneven for the small business owners and the average consumers. The innovation of the electronic financing also helps to even out the competition ground between large enterprises as well as small entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.